on production. All the righteous sisters.
For the hottest R&B instrumentals, you gotta holler.
Put your hands up in the air and sing along with us.
Who's a find if the wife, find if a good thing. A wise woman take a time to find a good king. Let the spirit lead whoever you choose. Wanna keep the commandment and the love for you.
The connection of love is so beautiful. When you're going through trials, somebody down with you. The lack of good marriages causes damaged homes. The kids imitating parents when they do wrong.
Shalom.
Shalom.
How are you today?
I'm okay.
Okay. For those that don't know, state your name for the camera.
My name is Malika.
Okay, and what camp are you associated with?
I'm associated with the Lions of Israel.
And who are you married to?
I'm married to you, hon.
Oh, you're married to me. Okay. Sis. Okay, so we're going around and we're speaking to our sisters about the Israelite woman's experience being married. So, how long have you been in the truth?
About 5 years.
You've been in the truth for about 5 years, okay. And who are you married to? Oh, you're married to Shar. Okay. Shar Shemyala from FOPE.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Shalom, sister.
Shalom.
Shalom. Okay. I want to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, how long have you been in the truth?
I have been in the truth the latter part of 2005.
Okay. Wow. So you've about 10 years.
Yes.
Okay. And if I may ask, who are you married to?
I am married to Shar Nathanya.
Shar Nathanya from AOC. Beautiful.
Correct.
Okay. Beautiful.
Our first question is, what is your Hebrew name?
I'm Kodora. Yakwa. Shimaka. Ma'ai Sagala.
Ma'ai Segula. Okay, Khan. So the next question I got for y'all is, how long have y'all been in the truth?
I have been in the truth since 2011, 2012.
Okay.
May 2004. 2004. 2006.
2006. Okay, Khan. Now, question for all the ladies on the panel here: Are you women married?
Yes,
Single?
I'm married.
Okay.
No. Okay. Married 19 years. Married, yes.
Khan. Now.
So, how long have you been an Israelite?
I've been an Israelite for about almost 5 years.
5 years?
Fun.
Okay. And who are you married to?
I'm married to Ephraimite Magan from Lions of Israel.
Okay. All right. Shalom, sisters.
Shalom.
All right. What camp are y'all sisters affiliated with?
AOC.
You sisters are affiliated with AOC under Hashar. Beautiful. Okay.
Shalom.
Shalom, sis.
My name is Hayapa Mashawash. You call me Mashawash.
All right, Khan, sis. So you're with the AOC camp? Is that correct?
Khan.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, shalom, sis.
Shalom.
Okay. So how long have you been in the truth?
I've been in the truth for 20 years.
You've been an Israelite for 20 years. Wow, that's a long time.
Yes.
And if I may ask, who are you married to?
I'm married to Ashaya.
Aisha Yah from Lions of Israel. Okay, that's a good friend of mine.
Yes.
All right, you're smiling when you say that.
Yes.
All right. What's your Hebrew name?
Nayamya.
Nayamya. Okay. And how long have you been in the truth as an Israelite?
I've been in the truth for about 3 years now.
You've been in the truth for about 3 years. Okay. How long have you been in the truth?
Well, I was educated about the truth right after I came here from Jamaica 17 years ago.
Okay. So you've been in the truth about 17 years. And how long have you been married?
I've been married to you for 3.5 years.
Okay. So you've been in the truth for 17 years and married for about 3.5 years. That means that for 13.5 years, you were a woman in the truth, but you just didn't have a husband. The reason why I ask you that is because You know, the word on the street is the Israelite woman is abused. She's mistreated. You know, she's not respected. A lot of husbands force their wives to be in this knowledge. So, are you happy in your marriage?
Absolutely.
Okay. And does your husband treat you good?
Yeah.
Does he work?
Yes.
Okay, these are some of the things that are said. So, you know, these are the stereotypes that are out there. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that, about the stereotypes that are out there and how they differ from your experience as an Israelite? Are you happy?
Very happy.
You love your husband?
Love my husband very much. I'm very blessed that the Most High blessed me with a brother from the
And how would you describe your marriage? Would you describe your marriage as a happy marriage? Are you happy?
Of course.
Very happy?
Yes.
Okay, are you oppressed?
No.
Are you being abused? Because the stereotype out there is that every Israelite husband abuses their wife. That's like standard operating procedure in Israel. And we all know that that is not true. So the purpose of this documentary is to talk to sisters honestly, candidly, and openly to see what they're experiencing in their marriage. How would you describe your marriage? Would you describe your marriage as a happy marriage?
Happy, blessed, anointed marriage.
Okay, and how long have you been married to him?
We have been married together for 8 years, but on paper, it's been a year. October that just passed.
Okay. The reason why we're doing this interview is because there's a stereotype out there in the world that all Israelite women are mistreated. You know, you're not respected, you're abused, you're beaten. You know, all these different things. Your husbands don't want to work. They don't want to take care of the households. They don't want to take care of you, so forth and so on. So I want you to speak to that in your experience. Is that something you have experienced?
Definitely.
And how would you describe your marriage? Are you happy?
Well, me personally, I'm happy. Proverbs 31 is also about being a virtuous woman and also, you know, a virtuous wife, what you're supposed to do for your husband. So I'm pretty happy.
Okay, are you being, you know, the stereotype is that Israelite women get beat up, they get abused, you know, so forth and so on. Has that ever happened to you before?
No, not with my husband. We follow the scriptures, so there's no abuse.
So the stereotype out there is that Israelite women are oppressed, unhappy, abused. So you sisters, as being married sisters, you know, how would you describe your marriages? Well, first of all, how long have you guys been in the truth? You can start with the sister, the first sister. How long have you been in the truth?
So it'll be 2 years since I've been.
2 years? And what about you?
For me, it's a little less than a year. I was in the truth about 17 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I just came back home.
You just came back home. Good. Well, welcome back. Okay. So how would you describe your marriages? Are you guys happy?
Absolutely.
Throughout Israel, not only Israel, but the whole world, the community looking in at Hebrew Israelites, you know, you got a lot of negative connotations saying that all Hebrew men, you know, beat their women or are mistreated, degrade their women, what have you. If y'all can, you know, speak on that, your experience being married, you know, that's it.
I'm married to Yawanathan, and I've been married for 5 years. And it's been a beautiful relationship with my husband. We have 3 beautiful children, ages 1, 3, and 5. But no, it's been just a very good experience. I've had a very positive experience in my Hebrew marriage.
I'm Shimika, and I've been married to Gazakabora for 19 years. And we have 2 children. And been in the truth since 2004.
How's it been? How's your relationship? Have you been abused?
Please.
Now we talking physically.
Are you the abuser?
Physically, mentally, emotionally, none of the above. My husband is the ruler.
That sounds like somebody I just I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I can't be recorded.
Cut. And you know, for the audience, this is
my daughter. This is our first. This is my daughter. This is our daughter, and she'll be 18 next year.
She ain't been with no man tonight.
No,
so
she's a virgin.
Yeah, she.
I'm married.
Cut.
So for those people who say that there's no virgins in Israel, that's not true.
God, there you go. Sister?
I've been married for a year with Pawar Ya'ala. He's an ambassador of Christ. And he's wonderful. That's my king right there. I don't know, he's just so sweet and smart and kind, and he's really good with the kids. I have 2 boys, Aliyah and Zachariah. Aliyah is 18 and Zachariah is 7.
Okay. So, how long have you been in the truth?
For a year and like 4 months.
A year and 4 months. So, how has your experience in the truth been? Because the word out there is that Israelite women are beaten, you are oppressed, you're degraded, we hate women, so forth and so on. Has that been your experience?
Nah, absolutely not. The brothers have been treating me very respectfully. I never had not one bad experience yet. The men in the truth are treating me better with the guidance of the scriptures than the men that's out in the world, because they have a blueprint to go by, how to love your wife and how to basically, and how to be a husband, how to be head of their household, and guide your wife.
And the reason why I'm doing this documentary is because there's a stereotype going around that Israelite men do not respect the Israelite woman. So you've been in the truth for 3 years. What has your experience been like? Have you been treated well? Have you been respected? So forth and so on?
I've been treated very well. My experience has been great because before I came to know who I was keeping the Sabbath. That was about the only commandment I was keeping. I was going to church on Saturdays, but I didn't know who I was, and so forth and so on. So when I found out who I was just ecstatic. And ever since I've been, knowing I'm a Hebrew Israelite, it's been great.
I mean, I don't really know a lot of what's being said, but I do know that you work, you have 2 jobs. You don't abuse me. I'm not abused. I wouldn't stand to, for being abused by anyone. This is actually the happiest I've ever been. I've never, truth be told, I've never been in an actual relationship. I didn't know what a relationship was or what a marriage was until I met you. So I am happy, and like I said, I don't know what's being said, but that's not going on in our marriage.
Okay.
I'm comfortable. I'm happy. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay. All right. Well, that's important because, as I stated, the word out there is that the Israelite woman is very, very unhappy. She's abused. She's mistreated, so forth and so on.
Thank you for the knowledge. You give me this power. Through this shy, it's in the presence of, it's in the presence of. You live and you learn. You gotta testify to know that it burns. And knowledge is power, about what you earn. And preparation is key when they say it's your turn. I eat up the truth and I leave the rest for the birds. I'm spitting these words when I'm close on the curb. I'm steady spitting cause in the Bible it's written out.
I have a wonderful husband. We talk and speak about everything. He helps in the household, he works himself, and we just get things done together. I've never been mistreated, I've never been beaten on, none of that. If anything, I've been arguing about myself.
What would you say to sisters that say that all Israelite men are abusive and they abuse their women, they don't treat their women right. Is that your experience with your husband?
That is not my experience with my husband. I think in any relationship there has to be a level of respect. And so when you respect one another, it's easier to get to know one another and to build a relationship and dedicate that relationship to the Most High. I think if you keep those things forefront, then everything should be fine.
It's a blessed marriage. There's no oppression. We're human.
Okay, no problem. Are you married?
Yes.
Okay. Is your husband in the truth as well?
Yes.
Okay. And the stereotype also is that Israelite women are not respected, and that your Israelite husbands don't like to work, and you get beaten, so forth and so on. Have you experienced any of those things?
None whatsoever. None. No, I haven't.
So is it fair to say, to all you women that just spoke, that so far y'all experience in Israel and the truth has been, we know with every relationship there's ups and downs. That's a given. That's life. But the negativity, as in terms of like being a Hebrew Israelite woman or wife, you basically, with other women, is it something for them to fear with coming into the truth? The negative things that are spoken of about the community. We'll start with you.
Oh, start with me. Did anyone want to start?
Well, we'll start this way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think a woman should learn her laws, statutes, and commandments before she marry a man, so he won't take advantage of her. If she knows her, all of that, I think she'll be fine, because she'll be asking a lot of questions about that man. What kind of man what kind of man he is and what he's about.
So basically take some time to get to know him.
Yeah, get to know him,
and then have that woman have some prior knowledge of the word, of the truth, before she just, jump into something.
Into a relationship.
Right. Okay, Kurt. You sister.
I personally think people are people. I think people think because you're a Hebrew Israelite or your man's a Hebrew Israelite that he's this different person. He's still a man. And I think people need to take their time and get to know each other before they jump into any relationship. You gotta know yourself, you gotta know the man that you're with, and there's certain things that you should be looking for as a woman for a husband. Is he a good provider? Is he a man of his word? Does he do what he says he's going to do? What's his relationship with his family? Other people around him, how he conducts his business, the financial part of it. I mean, there's a whole lot that goes into it. So I think people are more focused on the physical, like people do out in the world. And I mean, not to say that doesn't count, but that should be the last thing you're thinking about, what somebody looks like.
Okay.
I think you should be thinking about his character, his spirit, can you even communicate with someone? If you have a disagreement, how does that even play out? Is it his way or the highway? Because he is your king, mind you, but is he willing to allow you to have an opinion, to have a conversation back and forth?
Okay.
So I don't want to, overextend it, but, I think people think because you're in the truth that it's supposed to be this miraculous change, but people in nature are just people. And the same rules apply in the world in terms of getting to know each other and taking your time and not being in a rush. I think people are so much in a rush with the fantasy of what it is to be married, and they have no idea what it is.
Right. Yeah, they brought out some beautiful points, and I agree wholeheartedly. I just kind of want to add on to what Sister Shemika said. When, we come into the truth, we think, since we think a certain way and we don't eat pork anymore and we put on our fringes, that we're a completely different person. But in reality, there's still some things that we need to work on as an individual. And most of us haven't been brought up in this knowledge and in this truth. And we think that, we have these fantasies or misconceptions on what things are going to be like when we get into a marriage, when in reality there's a lot of hardships that come with it, and it takes a lot of patience, kindness, compassion, you know, just all those things above that each person needs to bring to the table in order to make that.
Or should I say, what are some of the things that you would advise a sister that may be new to the truth, that at some point will want a husband? What would be some advice that you would give them?
Don't rush. That's the most important thing. Don't come into the truth and, you know, expecting. I mean, if your only purpose is to find a husband, and you're not going about it the right way. The truth is not, oh yeah, I need a partner, so I gotta be in the truth. That's, you know, the whole purpose of finding this truth is to find yourself and to find a relationship with the Most High. You know, to come back to your nationality, to come back to who you are, you know, find yourself. That's number one. So if your mind is only set on finding a partner, you're going about it the wrong way. That's number one. Now, if you happen to be in the truth and you meet someone, patience is the key. You know, patience. Have some patience. Don't rush. Take the time to create a friendship with that person and build a friendship with that person first. You know, that's my advice.
Are we friends?
Yes, you're my best friend.
All right.
It's important. It's important to build a friendship. If you're not friends with your partner, it's useless because you don't have anything else. Friendship is your foundation. You know, Most High, you know, come first. But after that, you got to have a friendship with your partner. Otherwise, you have nothing.
Yep, it's the foundation of the relationship because it's what's going to keep you together when those hard times come. You know, it's what's going to keep you together because if there's no friendship, then when them hard times come, it won't last. Right. So finally, what advice would you give a young sister that's out there that's contemplating coming into the truth when seeking a husband? What advice would you give her?
Well, first of all, I would say, like, when you're new in truth, I would say my advice personally, don't go camp hopping. I would say watch videos first and really just watch how these guys maneuver. After that, they kind of move up. You can visit these schools to kind of see how things are done and operated, and just strongly have a strong observation game. Thirdly, when you're really picking a husband, you have to seek the Most High first. You can't just go because this guy has smooth words or he's speaking this or he's speaking that. I mean, you have to really love the Most High to love yourself before you just allow yourself to be fooled, tricked, and deceived. And I'm sorry, but my marriage is going on my 3rd year strong. I'm not abused, I'm not oppressed, I'm not chained up, I'm not controlled. I'm not any of that. Now, am I submissive to my husband? Yes. Do he listen when I have a concern? Yes. Do we have a good balance? Very much so. So, I mean, I can't speak for no one else's, but I know what doesn't go on in my marriage.
I can't attest to those accusations.
Okay. If you had some advice for a sister that was just coming into the truth that might not yet have a husband, or, you know what I'm saying, might be looking for a husband, what advice would you give her, especially considering all the things that are being said out there? What sort of things should she be looking for in a husband? What sort of qualities?
My advice for sister is to take your time. Don't just run to the first brother that probably is giving you information or showing you things. Take the time to congregate with other people and learn. And just be yourself. Don't look for anyone. Let Most High send that man to you, and you'll just know when it's right. That's basically my advice to a sister. I think too many sisters are looking for a husband and they just jump straight into things, and then they have one man that might try to knock something on their head and show them scriptures and to their liking. But just try to learn and be open yourself, you know, just don't move into things fast. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
It's going to be very rough around the edges, and it's going to take both together to make that relationship work. So it's going to be hard. I mean, any relationship, even relationships in the world are hard, which is why the divorce rates are so high. But what makes our relationships unique is that we do have the scriptures to back ourselves on, and to get through those hardships together.
Kind. Real good points. I mean, that's on point. All right, last and final question. For any new sister that is either currently in the truth or looking, you know, basically studying, learning to get into the truth, and is leery, you know, with the negative things that is, you know, it's spoken of about us. What advice would you give to a new sister coming in the truth? We'll start this way now.
One thing I would have to say is to just be patient with yourself. If you're not married, like the sister Ma'at said, you know, learn the scriptures for yourself and have that relationship with the Most High for yourself first and foremost. Because if you love Him and you're able to give your life up for Him and to serve Him the way the scriptures ordain, it will be a much more smooth transition going into a relationship, because you'll know what is already expected of you.
What advice would you give sisters coming into the truth based on the stereotypes and the stuff that's out there about Israelite men? What advice would you give the sisters out there? You can give them any that's thinking about coming into the truth.
I would definitely say know yourself. Definitely do your research. Have faith. Be fearless. And just embrace yourself. Embrace it.
That's right. So I understand that you're not married yet. You told me that. But I know at some point, eventually, if it be the Most High's will, when the right opportunity presents itself, you will be. So what advice would you give a sister that's just coming into the truth, that may be seeking a husband? Should she take her time first and learn herself and learn about the Most High? And if she is seeking a husband, what qualities should she be looking for? Just give the sisters that's watching this a little bit of advice.
Well, my advice to the sisters in the truth, the same thing that I'm doing. You go into the scriptures and find the Most High for yourself, not for the sake of a man or for the sake of looking for a husband. Because that's what I've experienced. So a lot of sisters I found out, a lot of sisters come into the truth for a man, and then when a marriage don't work out, they lose their faith with the Most High and just walk away from the truth. But you come into the truth because you want to be in the truth, and you want to learn who the Most High is and who you are, what your nationality is. And for me, I'm learning the scriptures for myself. So this way, when I come across a man, not only I'm gonna go by his doctrine, I'm gonna go by the man itself, by his two things. So I think that's the best way for any woman to come in looking for a husband. You be familiar with the scriptures yourself. So this way, when you find your husband, the man that you want to be your husband, and he has to learn the scriptures either more than you, better than you, and this way you won't get, manipulated, So that's a lot of advantage that a lot of men have, is that they know the scriptures more than the women. The women don't know for themselves. So that's my best advice, to learn scriptures for yourself.
So your husband treats you well, respects you as a woman, as a wife, so forth and so on. Okay. So if you could give advice to some younger sisters that may be thinking about coming into the truth and have heard a lot of things that have been said, what advice would you give a young sister coming to the truth, especially one that may not have a husband? A lot of men are going to court her and try to, marry her, so forth and so on. What advice would you give a young sister like that?
The advice I would give a young sister is when you're first coming in, do your research, as far as, who it is you're going to marry. and just keep God's commandments, like they say, you know, like it says, and learn how. I know it's hard, you know, but you can do it. Learn to be quiet. I know it sounds strange coming from another woman, but learn to keep your mouth closed. It's a time and place for everything. You'll have a chance to say what you have to say at the right time, the right place. You know, you can't just, you know, just talk all the time, because it irritates me, and that's one thing that I have learned over the years. And things will go well if you keep God's commandments and you know, treat your husband with respect, and you know, and do what he says do. You know, respect him and obey him. It's simple as that. We're not used to doing that, so it's kind of hard at first, but it can be done.
We just need to slow down. I think people are doing so much of a hurry to create this life or this ideal of a life that they're not taking their time to really analyze if this really is the right thing for you. Because once you go there, you don't, you know, us women, we don't get a second chance. That's it. Like, when you make that decision to make that man your husband, come hell or hell water, I mean, that's what it is. So it's the most important decision that you're going to make. So I think women need to slow down. Don't let any man or anybody force you into being married. You know, don't let no brother say, you know, I have to teach you, or, you know, you can't learn. You have to be my wife in order for me to teach you. Things like that. I know some brothers have used that against women. So I think for a woman, you know, you would have to tell a brother, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but I just want to take my time, and I don't want to be committed right now. I want to take my time and make sure that if I choose you to be my husband, that this is forever.
Good. A little bit. All right, Sister Maya.
Shimika and Kadora made some good points. So I really don't have nothing to say about this situation, because they already made good points. So.
Okay.
Well, can I add something?
Go ahead.
Okay. You know, I mean, that was on point, for real. And I feel like a lot of times people feel as if, or not people, but women feel as if their only value to Israel is to be a wife. Which, I mean, it's true if you desire, you know, if you want to be a wife and you are a wife, that's beautiful, you know. Make the most of the role that you're in. But there's a lot of things that you can do too as a single woman, right? Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many things, so many gifts and talents you can bring towards Israel. You know, you don't have to just constantly just think, I need to be a wife, I need to find a husband, I need to find, like, that shouldn't be your primary goal and your focus. Like, you know, like I said, build that relationship with the Most High and stay steadfast in prayer, and He will honestly guide your footsteps on where you need to be, and He'll put that person in your life. Because every time we try to do our own thing and try to make our own paths, that's where we mess up. You know, we get too much in our carnal and in our flesh. You know, we got to continue to look through our spiritual eyes when we're trying to do stuff. So we have to remember that, you know, and to dwell with other sisters too. You know, speak with them about, you know, have conversations like this with other sisters and say, like, what is it to really be a wife? You know, I'm reading in the scriptures, yeah, it looks good, but what are you doing? Like, why does it look so easy for you and so hard for her? You know, ask those questions. So that's what I just want to add that to.
What do you say to the stigma that the Israelite man does not know how to treat their wives? Would you say that that's true, based on some of the things that we've seen recently on Facebook and on YouTube? Would you say that that's a true statement?
No. I mean, I haven't been with every Israelite man, but I don't have that in my marriage. I'm quite comfortable in my marriage. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be in it. That's the truth. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't happy. I mean, I can't speak for any other group of people or any other, you know, community. If you do have Hebrew Israelite who are not, you know, perfect, that's also in every community. in every group of people, whether you're Kemetic or Egyptologist or whatever other group or community you belong to, and nobody's perfect. We're all broken people. And, you know, every group have their own issues. Personally, I don't have that issue in my household, so I can't speak for everybody else. I'm quite happy where I am.
All right, so closing out with everything we just covered, any sisters think about leaving the truth? Anybody think this ain't for them? Well, start this way.
Well, I love being in the truth.
What is your favorite thing about being an Israelite, or about this truth in general? What would you say your favorite thing is?
My favorite thing is not being out there in the world anymore, doing all the crazy stuff. Following, you know, the laws, statutes, and commandment the way the Most High asks us to. You know, when you're fast asleep, it's horrible. And you know, my favorite thing is having my eyes open. My eyes are wide open.
I'm not.
What's your favorite name? One of your just one favorite thing that you like being in the truth over any other doctrine, religion, or anything you've been involved with in the world?
Just being with the Most High and His Son.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
That being truth knowledge. That's what he says, man.
Now, I personally think, in terms of being in the truth, there has to be something in you, even when you're in the world, that tells you something's not right. You know, it's like there's something that tells you, you might go to a church and see people so-called catching the Holy Spirit, and you go, ooh, I don't want whatever they got, whatever they catching, I don't want it. And you're like, ooh, there's something wrong with me feeling that way? And you really sit back and you say, wait a minute, what's going on? And certain things you hear, it just don't sit right with you. So there's a part of you already, to me, if you're called into this truth, there's a part of you that knows something's not right. And then when you hear the truth, it all makes sense. Everything falls into place and everything makes sense. So to sit back and to revert and go back is idiotic. And for people who do that, they're literally bugged out and they bring demons upon themselves. I mean, I know we're not talking about that, but people are plagued with a lot of different things that come with them when they leave this truth, because that's just demons and Satan just coming at you. Because, I mean, not saying that you can't revert and come back, but you know, you can't be lukewarm. You can't teeter and totter.
Okay.
So that's what I have to say about that.
You got anything you want to ask us?
I still want to stay. Yeah. Anything? I don't have nothing else to add after that.
She's shy.
Go ahead. Anything?
Well, my favorite, you know, because I've been in the truth, like I said, for a couple years, and my favorite moments are those aha moments, like those moments where you was really struggling in the area, and you know, you just been praying, or just like, why does this keep happening to me? And then one day it just clicks, and you're just like, wow, like I can't, and it's just so brighter, and you can see things, and weights lifted up off your shoulders. You know, it's those moments that really keep me want to just keep going. And you know, he just truly just continues to manifest himself in front of you, and it's just, you know, you just gotta be patient and just be teachable. And
you know, the question you asked earlier, somebody's being abused. If someone is being abused and they're not saying anything, they're not telling anyone, they're not talking, you know, talking about it to anybody, what can we do? What can we do? If you're being abused, if you're married to somebody and you're being abused, speak up. Say something. Get out. If you have to leave and go somewhere and seek help, go. But don't sit somewhere and you're being beaten and abused and just sit there.
What's it like being married to me? You know, somebody that's, you know, I guess a lot of people no. So I'm always busy. You know, I'm always doing a lot. What's it like? What do the sisters that do decide to take on a husband in Israel, what do they have to look forward to? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Well, honey, I don't think I don't think every brother, every other brother is Priest Daniela. What is it like being married to you? You make me laugh. I'm always giggling. You teach me a lot. I've learned a lot since I've been with you. I think I learned a lot in the last 3.5 years than my whole entire life since I've been with you. Yeah, you know what? That's one of the best thing coming into the truth. Being married to somebody who give you knowledge, and you've given me a lot of knowledge. That's a good thing.
Right. See, I want to just say in closing, since you and I are talking, right, that not every man that's holding the Bible and claiming his nationality is qualified to be a husband, and that's the misconception that's out there. We all have to be taught when we come into this truth. Deuteronomy 28:68 is easy, but we have to be taught. And some men have to be taught to be husbands, and some women have to be taught to be wives. That is what teachers are for. So the things that go on are not a reflection of the marriages in Israel. So we're glad that you're happy. And I want to just close out by saying, is there anything else about our marriage, your experience as a wife, or advice that you want to give any sisters? Any last words that you want to say?
Okay. Don't get into a marriage with old baggages. When I was out there in the world, dating, the worst thing to do is to bring all that baggage with you. Something that someone else did to you, someone else did you wrong, and you bring when you come into the truth, you're supposed to be a brand new person. You're supposed to shake all that worldly stuff, off, and be, a brand new person. This truth is supposed to make you a brand new person. Don't bring your baggage, something that somebody else did to you out there. Now that you meet a husband in the truth, try to get rid of your baggage before you enter into a relationship, a marriage with someone else. And you need to understand also that person might have his own baggage. How do you treat those baggages? Your baggage, his baggage. If you're not strong, those baggage might tear you apart. You have to be strong. That's why it's helpful when a couple is strong in the faith. Strong in the word. You pray together. You fast.
All right. Well, thank you. Oh, that's beautiful, sister. That's fantastic advice, and thank you so much. The water. Okay. All right, Sister Water. See, that was quick and painless.
Yeah.
The water. Okay, sisters, well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. The water. Excellent, sister. Well, the water for interview. That's it. And I say shalom. Beautiful. Well, I appreciate you giving me this little interview, and I say shalom.
Shalom.
All right, sister. Well, the water for the interview. That's all. It's quick and painless, just like I promised. Shalom.
All right, sisters. Appreciate it. Happy Feast of Tabernacles to everybody. Shalom.
What would you say to the sisters that left the truth because their marriages didn't work?
Well, if you leave the truth because your marriage didn't work out, you really wasn't in the truth. I'm sorry, but that's You can't. You leave the truth because your marriage didn't work out? Okay, so I lost my job, so I'm gonna leave the truth. I lost my house, so I'm gonna leave the truth. I mean, what was keeping you in the truth? Your marriage? Is that what? You know, the question needs to be asked. Was your marriage the only thing keeping you in the truth? Because your relationship with the Most High should be number one. You know, that's it. Your marriage didn't work out, you still have a relationship with the Most High. You still have a foundation. Your feet are still planted in this truth. There's nothing that can happen that would have me leaving the truth. I mean, even if you left the truth, honey, bye, you know. I'm saying, I'd feel bad for you, but that's not going to change my mind. I believe this truth to be the only truth, and that's my belief. That's my heart, and nothing can happen. Nothing can happen to sway me. Doesn't matter what happened. So
that's what the Apostle Paul said.
Sisters leaving the truth because their husband abused them or something didn't work out. You really wasn't in the truth. You just came in the truth. Well, you really wasn't even in the truth, but you just came and pretend simply because you just wanted a man, and it didn't work out, so you're out. You weren't sincere. Your feet weren't planted in this truth. You know what I mean? You wasn't sincere. So that's my answer. You know, you come into the truth, didn't work out with your husband, with your, you know, whatever, and you left, and now you're with Egyptology, or what's the other one?
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
whatever,
or just atheism in general.
Right. You really wasn't in the truth. You were just faking the funk. That's my answer to the question.
You seem pretty happy. Are you happy?
Of course I'm happy.
Really? Why are you happy?
What do you mean why I'm happy?
Because you're not supposed to be. That's what they say.
Okay, that's their problem.
Israelite men are monsters.
I don't. Who said that?
We're not going to call names in this interview.
Okay, technically, you know, if you want to be technical, we're all Israelites, whether you're a Kemet or not. Those guys are still Israelites. Yeah. They just call themselves something else.
So but all the happy wives are supposed to be over there, and all the miserable women are supposed to be over here. Maybe, yeah, okay. Maybe you're on the wrong side. I don't know. Do I have a job?
Are these questions people are asking?
Oh yeah, this is what's out there. Do I have a job?
Yeah, I have 2 jobs.
Okay, so I have 2 jobs, but I say the white man's the devil, and I curse out the white man. Shouldn't I have a business?
Well, we have 2 businesses.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a lot of stereotypes that got debunked in a matter of about 3 or 4 minutes. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay.